You love a good underdog story, don't you? Fighting against all odds to reach a goal is something tons of people can relate to and rally behind. Today, let's take a look at an upcoming game where you play as a literal underdog. This is Buck. Buck is currently in development by Wave Interactive, a studio of just 3 people who have worked for years to bring this thing to life. It's a 2D Metroidvania brawler set in a post-apocalyptic world that's dripping with that film noir style. You play as Buck, a motorcycle mechanic that leaves behind everything he knows to uncover the truth about a girl's disappearance. Along the way, you'll explore settlements and towns filled with interesting characters, each with their own goals and agenda. A big point of emphasis in this game is narrative choices. How you choose to interact with the people in this world is entirely up to you, but there's no room for second guessing and there's no going back, because the game saves after each big decision you make. The demo takes place during what I'd imagine is pretty early in the story. Buck has just one lead to follow, and that takes him to a place called West Town. There he meets Mug. Mug tells him that West Town is basically built on the you help me and I'll help you system. So, to get some help in his search, Buck has to go get some supplies and look for some of West Town's scouts. He's able to bring back the supplies. The scouts? Not so much. After bringing the supplies back to West Town, Mug agrees to help Buck out and let him stay. In exchange, Buck agrees to head into town and help out any residents that he can. He meets another mechanic that wants him to go to the junkyard to find some high-end tools from a well-known salvager. When Buck arrives at the junkyard, all he's greeted with is an old man that doesn't even want to talk to him. So Buck just heads back to his bike to go back to West Town, and that's where the demo ended. The gameplay in this demo is fairly bare bones, but what is here shows a great amount of promise. In combat you have dual pistols, a shotgun, light and heavy melee attacks, and a dodge to get you out of trouble. The dodge is extremely valuable, as you'll often run into groups of 2 or 3 enemies at a time, and getting sandwiched means certain death. I had previously played a version of the demo that didn't have the melee attacks, and I have to say, their addition in the game is very, very welcome. Combat encounters in that previous version were much more challenging, which in turn made the game much more frustrating. But now, with the melee added, the combat was much more satisfying, and I actually found myself anticipating what combo of enemies the game would throw at me next. Buck really has the potential to be a hit. The mechanics are solid and will only get better with time. It's overflowing with personality. The art style, from the environments to the character designs, is top notch and makes the game really stand out. There is just a ton of potential here. I couldn't help but be reminded of Dust, an Elysian Tale, while I was playing this demo, and I feel that Buck could be just as good, if not better. This is definitely a game worth following. I know I will be.
Taking place in Nazi-occupied France, the Saboteur's visuals lend to its overall narrative. Upon starting, the world is devoid of any color, accented only by the red of Nazi armbands and banners throughout the city. This punctuates the enemy presence.